Imagine a room that smells of smoke, sweat, and old paper. It's June 21st, 1941. Just before midnight, we're in the Lair, Hitler's military headquarters in East Prussia. The walls are covered in maps, with angry red arrows stabbing eastward, deep into the heart of the Soviet Union. Pins mark cities most Germans have never even heard of: Minsk, Smolensk, Kiev, names that mean nothing yet, but are about to be written in blood. Outside, the forest is unnaturally silent, but inside, the tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Adolf Hitler stands at the head of a massive table. He never sits when he's certain, and tonight he is utterly certain. His hands are clasped tightly behind his back. Across from him, his generals are a picture of anxiety. Field Marshal von Brauchitsch, the army's commander-in-chief, stares at the map, but he won't meet Hitler's gaze. Franz Halder, chief of the general staff, nervously flips through his notes, as if hoping the numbers will magically change. And old Gerd von Rundstedt, a veteran scarred by the First World War, shifts his weight, deeply uneasy. They all know why they're here. In just a few hours, Operation Barbarossa, the largest invasion in human history, is scheduled to begin. 3 million men, 3,600 tanks, over 2,700 aircraft. An entire continent is on the brink of explosion. Hitler finally breaks the suffocating silence. The Soviet Union, he declares, his voice flat and final, is a rotten structure. Kick in the door, and the whole thing will collapse. No one dares to speak. You can almost hear a clock ticking somewhere in the concrete bunker, counting down the last moments of peace. Then Halder clears his throat. Every word is chosen with surgical precision, like it might be his last. "My Führer," he begins, "our intelligence estimates are uncertain." Hitler turns slowly, his eyes locking onto Halder. Uncertain. The word hangs in the stale air like a direct challenge. Halder's heart pounds, but he presses on. The distances are vast, the roads are poor. Our supply lines will be stretched beyond anything we have ever attempted. And Winter, Hitler cuts him off with a sharp, dismissive wave of his hand. "Winter will not matter," he snaps. "This war will be finished in weeks." But now, Rundstedt leans forward. He's seen this kind of blind overconfidence before. He lived through the disaster of 1914. "My Führer," he says, his voice quiet but firm, "we are already fighting Britain. Our navy is stretched thin. Our air force is committed to open a second front of this scale." Hitler's voice rises, filled with fury. Britain is finished. It simply doesn't know it yet. The generals exchange desperate glances. This isn't about strategy anymore. This is about one man's dangerous, uncheckable belief. But right here, in this version of history, something is different. Instead of slamming his fist on the table, instead of screaming his generals into submission, Hitler hesitates. It's just for a second, a pause, a flicker of doubt in his eyes that no one has seen in years. Outside, thunder rumbles ominously, a storm rolling in from the east. He walks over to the map, his finger tracing the long, ambitious red arrows. Thousands of kilometers. An endless land filled with endless people who will fight for it. Brauchitsch, sensing the slight shift, finally finds his courage. "My Führer, if this fails even partially, Germany will bleed in a way it cannot recover from." Silence again, but this time it's longer, deeper. Hitler lets out a slow, heavy breath. He remembers the stories of Napoleon. He remembers the retreat from Moscow, and then so quietly it's almost a whisper, he says the words that no one in that room ever expected to hear. Delay the attack. Every head snaps up in disbelief. Re-evaluate our position, Hitler continues, his voice regaining its authority. Britain first. Focus on the Mediterranean. The oil, the Soviets can wait. Halder just blinks, trying to process what he's just heard. Rundstedt remains perfectly still, suspicious that this is some kind of loyalty test. But it's not. For the first time in a long, long time, Hitler has actually listened. As the storm finally breaks outside, a single decision made at 11:52 p.m. has bent the course of the Second World War onto a completely different path. Because at dawn, Barbarossa does not begin. The trains grinding toward the border halt on their tracks. The orders are frozen. The millions of soldiers waiting in the dark never cross into Soviet territory. And far to the east, the Soviet Union wakes up the next morning, blissfully unaware of how close it came, and still at peace. For now. But peace in this new world is only the calm before a different, and perhaps far more dangerous, storm. Because if Hitler doesn't throw his armies against the Soviet Union, then where does all that immense military power go? And who will be the first to feel its wrath? Thank you for watching. If you're fascinated by alternate history, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the what-ifs of the past.